My people, it's about that time. Live from the USA, hoping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. It's Tuesday, February 18th, and I'm doing this video upload to discuss Bitcoin and the correlation to Mercury Retrograde. A lot of times in the financial markets, they are dictated by emotion. Which happens to be cyclical and tied to the astral projections that come from above. And so that's what we'll be discussing in today's video. How does Mercury retrograde affect Bitcoin? What is Mercury retrograde? And how will this affect the charts, if at all? If this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, known as the Crypto Trader. I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you get to profit as a result, and today is no exception. So ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's go ahead and make this money. Here we see this was published just this week, February 16th, 2020. How to survive the first Mercury retrograde of the decade, right? And so essentially it goes on to discuss that this thing just happened February 16th. The first planet from the sun has been moving through Pisces since February 3rd. On the 16th, it will begin to move backwards in its orbit, as seen from our perspective here on Earth. While it's retrograding, it will continue to re-enter Aquarius on the 4th, and after that, it will begin moving forward on March 9th. So essentially right now, between February 3rd and February 16th and March 9th, Mercury is in retrograde, which means it appears to move backwards in Earth. Now, this is the important part. In astrology, Mercury rules communication, technology, and travel. So when it retrogrades, prepare for these areas to get a little messed up. Think X's in your DMs, social media platforms going down, and missing your flight. So long story short, this is kind of a time where things, especially dealing with communication, dealing with travel, dealing with technology, and the combination of those three things, things can get a little bit wonky, right? Let me see what else. And then it goes into a little bit more of the in-depth discussion between Venus and Pisces. If you want to read more about this, I can definitely put a link in the description of this video. I just kind of wanted to stick to a high level to let you know that basically Mercury retrograde is not an optimal time for technology, right? Mercury rules communication, technology, and travel. Jupiter, however, rules finance, right? And the money. And Bitcoin, if you look at Bitcoin's natal chart, it's actually a very strong combination between the two of those things, between technology, between money, and more or less the day that it was launched and the city that it theoretically was launched, I think, which is out of London. It's an ideal component, an ideal product for the way that the stars were aligned. This is essentially what the phrase means, as above, so below. A lot of this happens, when we actually can look at the stars and better understand what's happening here on Earth, because everything is indeed connected. And a lot of people don't want to believe in this for whatever reason, but I've come to learn that the more you understand the world outside of you, the more you can understand the world within you, right? Shout out to Seven Bomar and the Understanding Family. What's going on? Wholeness and Balanced Vibrations. This is another way to think about it. Mercury retrograde is essentially, like looking through your rearview mirror in your car, right? When we see Mercury moving backwards, we think, how is that possible? How can that be? It can only move forward, right? But Earth in itself has its own motion and centripetal force, and so do our eyes, the optical orbit of our illusion called vision, right? This is the same concept. When you're driving a car down the freeway and you're moving at a rate faster than the car behind you actually looks like it's going backwards because it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller with respect to your current perspective or your current position in the world. Mercury retrograde is essentially the same thing. This planet is very, very, very important for the universe and for Earth and for our correlation and juxtaposition with regards to the sun and the other alignments, right? And so when it moves backwards, things can get a little bit wonky. And so they said it's been going on since, I believe, February 16th. Now, this is a chart that I made January 30th. Keep in mind, I did not even consider Mercury retrograde when I made this chart. I just drew it up and I said we will have a little bounce going into March. One of the guys in the Bitcoin group, if you go to the #1 Bitcoin group in the world, I completely forgot I said this, but I did a 4 horsemen talk. Let's see if I can pull up the 4 horsemen real quick. I did a 4 horsemen video, episode 1, like in the middle of January, and I said by Valentine's Day, the market should be back in an uptrend. I completely forgot I said it, but my man Crypto Butcher right here definitely remembered. He said, I got to give you props. In one of your recent videos in January, I think it was the 4 horsemen, you said that the market should be breaking out right around Valentine's Day. Nailed it. That's why you're the boss of Bitcoin, right? I said somebody's got to be the boss. And this is the chart that I made for that video, showing that we would have an uptrend as long as we were in this channel going into March 13th. And just as the sun is bright, we have been continuing on that trend line. Now, I still expect a strong breakout to occur at this blue line that will probably get us into this white area up here to test 12,000. That will come in the middle of March. And also, coincidentally, that is when when Mercury retrograde actually completes. If we go back to the link that we just had, let me see, can I pull it up? Yeah, it'll start moving forward on March 4th. And the chart I just showed you showed Bitcoin moving higher, having a very, very, very strong bounce towards the middle of March 16th. So once that card starts coming larger in your perspective, I think that's when we can start to see the markets fully recover and Bitcoin continue on this major uptrend to retest and repush towards $12,000. I think the biggest thing to remember is that everything we experience as humans is tied to something much bigger and much greater than just us as humans. This is merely one experience, that we're able to have. It is not the end all be all, and it most certainly is not interdependent with the puppets masquerading as government that pretend that they control your life. You are your own light if you choose to be so bright, right? And so looking at Bitcoin, BTC to the USD, let's jump right into it. This is the boss method invented by yours truly. It consists of 3 simple moving averages, a 7, a 77, and a 231. If you don't know how to use it, just type in the big brother, Google, how to chart like a boss, right? And this video, let me see where we at. That playlist right there up top, bam, get it. I don't even know how that girl is getting my SEO, but she's doing a very good job of it. This is what you want. The Boss Method Explained. Click that video right there. It's 67-minute dissertation, about 25,000 views and counting. And this is a walkthrough of how to set up and use my method for free, forever. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome. And this is what we got with Bitcoin, right? We have this trend line right here. This is basically a trend line. This blue line comes from this box right here, right? So you do a trend line, put it right there, right? Copy and paste it, double down on the low point, bam. And that is basically the channel that we just broke through, coincidentally enough. This thing just happened. If you go back into the charts, this thing just happened within the past couple days, right? And so one of the problems that we have when you look at Bitcoin is that if we were to do a Fibonacci from this channel, right? That's our last breakout. Look at that. That thing is beautiful. It just falls ever so nicely on this little uptrend. We capstoned at the 4.2 to the 4.6, and now we do have, as I look at this, we do have a decent chance to catch right there, right? And that has to be north of $9,600. This is kind of like your break even for Bitcoin, 95.50. If we can catch there, well, then all we did here was a breakout, breakdown, flatline. Guess what comes next? Breakout, right? But if we continue to drop and we have a drop going down below 9,400, that's going to be a concerning area for Bitcoin, because when it drops there, guess what's going to happen? It's going to drop again. So this is basically your break-even price right here during this Mercury Retrograde season, $9,500, as long as it's above 95 come the conclusion of Mercury Retrograde. Well, guess what? Then we'll probably be retesting 10,000 before the end of March. But if for whatever reason, this celestial alignment leads to the contraction of Bitcoin, well, then we will be looking at 8,800 around the same time if we were to do a Fibonacci extension from here, from here to here. That's basically where we're at right now. This is basically where we'll be looking at this decision to be made. I can get it on the 6.4. No, I want this one. Right? Here to here. That's D-Day, right? And that's the 10th of March. You see this? This is a completely different chart on the 77. And these guys said Mercury Retrograde will complete on March 4th. So no later than March 10th is when we'll have our answer as, is it good or bad for Bitcoin? As long as we're above 95, this thing will continue to go higher. If we break below that for whatever reason, then we're going to be looking at 88 to 8,600, somewhere in there, with as low as 8,200, right? We don't necessarily want to see that. That's not a great pattern to play out, but it is a possibility given the certain predicament, in the stars, right? One of the things I try to do is bring all of this information and communication and dissertation together for you in a clean, easy format. So before we get into this, if you appreciate this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, show me some love, subscribe right now, join the money team. The doors are always open, and make sure you click that little bell right there so you get every single video that I do in real time. I make this information relevant, try to tie it back to the markets and help you make some money, right? Also, we have our website, bossofbitcoin.com. If you want to join any of our crypto trading communities, they are 100% completely free. I showed you the first one, the Facebook group, #1 Bitcoin group in the world, #1 Bitcoin, come on in. The doors are always open. You can also follow me on TradingView, BD Kelly 1203. You click that link right there, and you will be able to see in real time all of the charts, tips and tricks, that I release to the community for free. And then also, if you want to get a crypto trading community profit package is available. The top 7 coins to swing trade every 7 days. We've been making some real deal money with this group. It grows by the week. Every week somebody new is joining. It's really an amazing eclectic community, people making some money in the markets. So I invite you to join that $50 for the first month. Special is still running. And then we have the VIP trading group, which comes with exclusive trading videos, one-on-one private messaging app, and a free one-on-one meeting with yours truly. So if you want to get a free one-on-one, join the VIP trading group, and that will be possible as well. Lastly, we do have the crypto trading classroom. You can click that left-hand link right here, and you get one-on-one coaching. So we got Bitcoin trading videos with either Ms. Diana Rodriguez or myself, just to get you help set up. If you want a more in-depth, personalized discussion, for your portfolio, for your strategy, again, all of this is available to you at bossofbitcoin.com. So there you go, people. Mercury Retrograde. This is only the first one. They said this will happen 3 times in 2020 alone, and this is going to be the easiest one, right? So if we already see, since the little alignment, Bitcoin's price has definitely contracted a little bit. I think we can start to look ahead to see maybe what can happen in the future as well, right? So there you go, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to these words. If you appreciate this content, like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate you. And like you already know, with that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay. Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh. Arms.